place where Nikki and Steve hang and connect with the amazing Stikker fam.
What up, mother cluckers? What are you doing with your life if you don't put pineapple on pizza? What?
Solo is the worst Star Wars movie ever created.
Toss a coin to
I didn't mean actually.
Oh, Valley of Bloom.
Stop. This is dumb, I'm leaving.
Join in on our movie nights.
I can't watch this. Fuck, wait for him to get in! Oh, God. No. No. That's a no from me. Oh, baby feet. No.
Boom.
Oh, fuck it. Can we all give Mr. John Wick a round of applause? A whole round.
Nom nom. Nom nom.
In the eye! Ay.
Your favorite show's over? Be there for the wrap party.
This is literally the most underrated television show I can personally say I have ever seen.
Word.
That was just such an epic moment that it was just, his speech was so good. Such a massive impact on the universe of Vikings.
There is nothing that you're gonna tell me that's like, he didn't survive, because no. La, I hear nothing.
If you thought this had a happy ending, you haven't been paying attention.
I cry every single time I see that scene again because it's so... I was shaking.
And of course, we are playing some games.
Yep, we're still in the bush, bitches. Oh my God.
I'm an aggressive accuser.
Really, you are. You're a dick.
Sorry guys, I had to bounce.
Oh my God.
Oh, you missed! Oh, you missed!
Ah, no! Intimidate? I don't know! Oh my God! Oh God! Oh my God! It worked! Okay, so I suck it, you blow it.
I got this fucking thing dangling from my gun now.
That's what he said!
Run! Run!
No!
What?
Bitch!
Oh my God.
Wow.
Ugh.
Oh my God! Oh my God! Again! Finally! Holy shit! Ah, shit! Oh my God! Dude, serpentine! Ah! I'm gonna pee my pants, I swear to God! Fuck this shit all day.
I missed it. The timing was off. Son of a... So, I gotta fix some audio, per usual. What's new around here? Hi, everybody. I forgot to switch the settings back after movie night. Dope. Wait, that's right. Oh, okay. I forgot the... I know what I did wrong. I know what I did wrong. Got it. Replay crew, thank you for joining the Cold Brewers. Thank you for joining. Tier 1. Appreciate it very much. If you guys didn't know, you could join the channel. Special perks at the top of the chat. And I added a perk this week to the live members. On Monday, I posted a community post for you guys to ask questions and kind of drive the podcast conversation. So now you get that for any podcasts, because we do it live. We're doing it live! And you get to vote on movie night, which the poll should go up tomorrow, hopefully. Hopefully. We'll see. I always forget to reset the audio settings completely after movie night, because we have to set them to a certain thing. Madrinas, it's delicious. Bruh. It's not a good look spamming chat. How about Ryan Johnson, huh? I know this is, we'll get to the podcast and House of Dragons in a bit. But how about Ryan Johnson, huh? That article. Nikki's coming. I saw Star Wars Theory was triggered. I thought it was kind of funny. I agree with almost everything he says about his issues with Ryan Johnson's movie, but I always like certain creators when they get mad and angry and they start ranting. I think it's fun. Star Wars Theory is kind of a tool. I completely disagree. Who's Ryan Johnson? He's a very talented director who made one of the worst Star Wars movies of all time. That's who Ryan Johnson is. I know he's like all excited about his new trilogy. I don't think they should do it. I think he could do a really good job with an entire trilogy, an entire story that's completely out into a different time zone with a completely different like story that's not linked to anything. But let's be honest. Regardless of how good it is, there's going to be absolute ridiculous amount of negative comments and attention attached to that. I just think it's a bad idea. I think you should just focus on other stuff. Get away from Star Wars. Probably be best for everybody. I mean, Knives Out was amazing. His Breaking Bad episodes were amazing. The dude's talented. As he said in his article, he just took a swing and I think he missed. But I don't know. It's hard to be a rogue director in the middle of a giant saga. Kind of like our rogue prince, right? See, that's like, I gotta adjust the shot a little bit. See if I can do this without breaking anything. Okay, nothing broke. Good. I just think it's a bad idea for Ryan Johnson to do a Star Wars movie. Because again, regardless of how good it is, there's going to be absolutely ridiculous amount of like backlash, and it's just not, doesn't seem worth it. Creator rates kind of make sense sometimes, and I think the way Theory, like, I think he put the video up yesterday. The way he was talking, like, the dude's just passionate. There's nothing wrong with that. I think it's great. I think he presents his issues with a very well thought out argument. And I'll never just be like, oh, that movie sucks. I'll always explain why I think it sucks. Ryan Johnson should get one side story at most. I just don't like, I don't think there's any point for him to continue with Star Wars. It doesn't matter how good he is. It doesn't matter what kind of track record he has in the content creation world. There's going to be people who absolutely despise him for The Last Jedi, and it won't matter, and they're just going to attack. And it's like, why put yourself in that position, you know? I don't think Nope will be movie night in the vote because it's still, it's expensive to rent. And because, we do watch-alongs. I'm not gonna ask you guys to spend $20 to watch with us. I'm gonna probably go through the movie night voting list later. Who's stronger? I don't think Nate Diaz is stronger than anybody. Doesn't mean he's not a good fighter. He's I don't think he's strong. I saw something about a Khabib. What do I think of Khabib? I think Khabib's amazing. I mean, I feel like Ryan Johnson is also kind of like a playful troll. Also. So, like, the way he kind of... I think his comment in that article is 100% a troll job. Just talking about, like, how he's even more proud of that movie 5 years later. Can't believe it's been 5 years. It's pretty wild. But it's like, I think you're just trolling all the fans at this point. We don't watch promos going into episodes. That's stupid for reaction channels to do. There's just no point. Even as I was watching the episode last night on HBO, I'm like, turn it off! I don't want to see anything going into the next episodes. It kind of defeats the purpose of a reaction channel, to be honest. I'm doing great today, actually. Thank you for asking. See, I never get sad when people decide to end their careers at a good... I mean, there's obviously still fights for him, but... I'll never be sad for a fighter walking out at his peak when he's healthy and still has a brain. Hell yeah, I'm gonna watch Black Panther 2. I don't know if we'll be able to wait to do a reaction to it. We might have to go see that in theaters opening weekend. And by the way, I'm purposely ignoring all the Game of Thrones conversation because we're gonna have like an hour of Game of Thrones conversation in a little bit. Also, like I know sometimes it's hard to ignore super chats, but when the conversation gets going, the plan is to do a Q&A afterwards. So if you guys have super chats, throw them in there. We're gonna answer all your questions. It doesn't have to be Game of Thrones only. It could be anything. It's kind of the fun thing about a podcast. We could talk about anything we want and doing it live. So, should do a UFC watch along. That's tough because pretty much 99.9% of UFC fights happen on Saturday night, and that's movie night. I did post we have an official goal set on Patreon now. I mean, maybe we'll wait for Black Panther to hit Disney Plus. We'll see. It all depends on what our schedule looks like. We might not even have time to go watch it in the theater, to be honest. But are you gonna stream Last of Us Part 1? The remake? No. I'm not gonna replay that game. Even though it's like top 3 favorite games of all time. I have trouble going back and replaying stuff. Ryan Johnson any day over Ron Howard. I mean, that's worthy of a debate, that's for sure.
Warning, Solo sucks rant. Warning, Solo sucks rant.
Worst Star Wars movie ever! Solo! Just one little notch below The Last Jedi. Have you pre-ordered Hogwarts Legacy? No, I have not. Oh, there's a Resident Evil Village DLC? Nice. Solo's a good movie, it's just a terrible Star Wars movie. They can be the same. Who's Vigo? Go check out, well, first Google it, because there's images you could just Google, but it's from the very first, the original Ghostbusters movie. He's the big bad villain. Oh, is it Ghostbusters 2? Is it 2? I thought it was 1. Is it 2? I guess it's 2. Okay, 2. Yeah, just Google the name. Just Google the name and Ghostbusters. You'll see it. Watching She-Hulk? Yeah, I'm watching She-Hulk. I've officially gotten more episodes into She-Hulk than I have with Miss Marvel. I think I'm regretting it. a good bad guy boss character. But I'm a big teddy bear. No, we don't watch previews for the next episode. That defeats the purpose of being a reaction channel. In my opinion. I think She-Hulk's been pretty bad, to be honest. No, this is coffee. It's Madrinas. It's our official sponsor of just everything we kind of do. I think the CGI in the opening scene of episode 2 of She-Hulk was so bad that it just kind of, it completely took me out of anything that was happening in that moment. And I'm usually really good at like overlooking CGI, but like I just, the way the She-Hulk character, like when She-Hulk's on screen, there's like the mouth movements when she's talking, like it feels like my video game when it's glitching when she's walking plate. Like it feels just like, okay, we shot a whole scene, now insert the giant She-Hulk character in the scene. I mean, I don't know, it's just not working for me. I'm not gonna shit on the story yet because it's only 2 episodes in, but I'm not a huge fan of the superhero lawyer thing. I don't know. I'm waiting for Marvel to get serious. I've been very open about this. I've been very down on Marvel lately. I'm not interested in most of the stuff that they're doing. The showrunners in an interview said they realized they didn't know how to write court legal stuff. I mean, that's horrible. Can you react to 3 Idiots movie? Probably not. We don't take suggestions in live streams. You gotta join the Discord and drop it in our suggestions. I don't even know what that is. I don't know. I just, like, Marvel's just in this, like, quantity over quality thing, I feel like, right now. Yeah, we've seen Multiverse of Madness. I didn't really like it very much, to be honest. I thought it was hilarious that, I don't know if it was, like, I don't know if it was the Marvel Twitter handle or something else related to Marvel, but the fact that they were like, hey, Better Call Saul's ending, come watch another great lawyer show. Like, no Marvel content should ever be compared to Better Call Saul. You don't even want to get put in that conversation because that universe will fucking clobber you when it comes to storytelling. I mean, obviously you can't compare Endgame to She-Hulk, but like I was watching Endgame the other day, and like the Thanos CGI, the Hulk CGI, like none of that CGI like takes me out of the moment. And again, I don't think you can compare the biggest movie they've ever done ever to this kind of sideshow Disney Plus thing that they're doing when it seems like every month they're kind of dropping new shows and they can't possibly make the quality good enough. There's just too much stuff coming. There's just too much going on. Oliveira versus Islam. That'll be a really good fight. I'm gonna stick with Charles Oliveira though. I think. Maybe. Multiverse of Matt played it too safe. I don't know if it was that. I just didn't think. I didn't think what they did to Wanda's character made any damn sense. There wasn't enough story to support it. I really enjoyed Moon Knight. If we get a second season. If that's all we get from him, then that show kind of sucked. It was way too much, there was way too much character development without having a second season. It was a bad multiverse movie. I mean, after watching Anything Everywhere All at Once, I mean, that movie puts Multiverse of Madness to shame. Ooh, excuse me. Dune Part 2 in like 5 years?
It's almost time.
I mean, Moon Knight Season 2 has to happen.
It's almost time.
Oh.
For the scary stuff.
I used to like boxing. I don't like boxing. Boxing now is nothing more than just a sideshow freak circus. It's like Anderson Silva's gonna box Jake Paul. Like, shut the fuck up.
That's the dumbest shit I've ever heard.
If Anderson Silva lose that, then
every single match that the fucking guy has done, Paul, whatever his name is,
it's all rigged.
Yeah, then I'm not gonna believe that he won anything. Hi, friends!
Favorite show so far this year? Holy shit, that's a tough question.
Nope, you can't. I don't know.
I mean, I'm not gonna put Game of Thrones in there because we're only 2 episodes in, but I'd have to go with Better Call Saul.
Word. Hey, did you pay your traffic ticket?
Yeah.
Okay. Steven was speeding!
I was speeding, which is bullshit.
What's up, kids?
Late next year.
Hi, friends!
Django Unchained is on the list.
It is on the list.
It's been in a vote before,
it's
too.
on the list.
You made the list.
You made the list.
Dune 2 is next year? Okay, good. That's gonna be a hard one to wait for. I
don't... battery.
Like, not watching Dune 2 in theaters after watching the first Dune, it's like, I want to go friggin' see that in theaters.
What up, Iron?
I didn't do a roll call, by the way, so hit your roll call.
Leilana, Trisha, Aaron, hey girl, hey! I'm going through puberty right now. What, did you already see what time it is? It's 11:22 a.m. on Wednesday morning.
And it's hot as fuck outside.
Southern California is having a, what did they call it?
A G version?
Excessive heat wave. So lately we've been getting like upper 80s, lower 90s, and today it's gonna be 103. So, fuck. I have the air conditioning pumping, and I'm a little worried. What up, what up?
You don't have to wear headphones if you don't want.
I don't have to? Oh, good.
There's nothing to listen to.
Thank you.
I just want to track music and stuff.
Ooh, if you have a fever of 103, that's cause for concern, and you should probably take care of that. Aw, thanks, Mr. E.T. So we have Pooja, Paul 5486, Hassan, Lewis, Charlene, Brendan, Magnum, Mr. E.T., Najib, Adriano, Bam... Wait, what is that? Bambia. Bambia?
Bambia.
I feel a little loopy right now. I need a snack.
You should
it's
have
109.
A snack before you came in here.
I can have a snack whenever the fuck I want.
I mean, if you were loopy, you should have eaten before you came in.
What's up, Dular is having a Madrinas. Did you know that?
Nice.
Mm-hmm. Splash. It's finally started to cool down here. Oh, God. 105. Oh, my God. Iron. That's terrible. Yeah, I don't imagine any other state, like, example, Arizona. I can't imagine that.
No, we live in California.
We live in Southern California.
And apparently, never mind.
What?
Nothing.
Yeah. Not that we're not used to 100-degree temperatures. It's not.
Not in September. We're a day from September. It's not supposed to be 100 degrees right now.
We have had such a mild spring and summer. So for these temperatures to skyrocket like they are is odd. That's it. I'm totally used to, like, I can remember taking a picture of my thermometer in the car and it being 112 at noon here where we live, picking up the kid from preschool. Like, that was just a couple of years ago, you know? What's up, Encino?
Please stop asking about Three Idiots movie.
Yeah.
I've already answered that.
Please, spamming it is only gonna make my interest in it go.
Oh, speaking of, I have a new audio thing for you guys.
Oh, wait,
you ready?
hold on.
Oh, you
Wait,
want to hear it?
I want to hear it. I
Okay.
want to hear it. Yeah,
You guys ready?
do it.
The Mist.
Stupid. You're so dumb. Yeah, we have had a mild summer. We are usually 10 degrees cooler than it is in the valley, so. Oh my god. Ah, sorry, didn't mean to hit that.
So
I kind
we
of
now
like having the
have-
headphones on.
Huh?
Kind of like having the headphones on.
You do?
Yeah.
So I figure we'll start at we'll officially start the podcast at 11:30.
We got 5 more minutes. Dallas had 15 inches of rain. Fuck. 112 in Arizona. No.
Ice cream brand. What's your favorite ice cream brand?
I don't know. I just picked the flavor. Ben and Jerry's? Ben and Jerry's have some non-dairy ones I like. Clever potato!
Why so many negative sound bites? More stuff.
Just to troll
Because that's
you.
fun. It's funny. It's meant to be funny.
Yeah.
What's exciting about Game of Thrones? My favorite show ever. Soundbite. That's not fun. This is fun. Anime. That's fun. That's funny.
I don't know what type of movie that is, Hassan. I don't know. Sorry. Hey, Southern.
Yeah, the humor is meant to be trolly.
Yeah.
We're joking around.
When it comes to Indian movies, I have nothing against any other culture. That's not the thing. But if it's not in English, we can't
I can't watch it.
subtitle or dub the version because I don't want to deal with the comments being hateful that we're not watching in the original language.
I can't watch a subtitled movie.
No.
If it's super action based like The Raid or Train to Busan, that's one thing. But if there's a heavy story involved, it's not possible. And I'm not going to deal with it.
What's up?
Squid Game ruined a lot of things, not going to lie.
Yeah.
And there were 99% of the comments were positive.
Yes, but it's hard when the negative comments are so hateful.
Yeah, it's just not worth it. Especially when we're so involved in comments. We love being in the comments.
Does it matter what ice cream flavor? Isn't all ice cream delicious?
I mean, Baskin Robbins mint chocolate chip is the best.
Old Boy, I have not. What do you mean negative trolley stuff? Like when
Was
other
that person
people troll us?
Was that person talking about us?
What was it? Let me see. Arrogant. Okay.
Were they talking about us?
Arrogant. I forgot. I'm so arrogant.
What the fuck?
I'm arrogant.
I think Nikki's the most humble person on the planet.
Nobody hates me more than I hate myself.
Next Sandman has been pinned in multiple comments on the last 2 videos. The schedule, actually it's not on the schedule official day, but it'll be tomorrow. We're watching tonight.
I used to eat bubblegum flavor ice cream when I was younger, but for my taste buds now, I can say that it's probably too sweet. Does that make sense? I like more of chocolate or straight up vanilla or those type of flavors. Aw, thank you. You're my sunshine. Dude, I don't know why people are negative on any channel. If you want to leave a negative, unless the comment section is for negative, then be negative. But what's it takes more muscles to frown than it does to smile. So, I mean, unless you're doing a workout, I mean.
I saw a headphone suggestion. I wear a pair of Beats wireless earbud things that wrap around your ear for the gym. I think those are great. Mm-hmm. They're kind of like...
Ooh. Paul Sura!
These are pretty awesome, too. I kind of game in these.
Dude, I'm trying to give you some hands.
I game in these little earbuds things. They're pretty awesome. They're a Steel Series.
We're gonna watch the Lord of the Rings show. We are.
Just not. We're not gonna be live.
Not
with
right
it.
away. That's the only.
We kind of jammed our schedule, and with Cobra Kai coming back, when it's coming back, kind of makes it impossible. We have to prioritize Cobra Kai over Lord of the Rings.
That's Steven's favorite flavor is mint chocolate chip. Do I jog? I don't work out anymore. I'll be honest.
Oh, we grew up in Southern California.
In the valley. Oh Jesus! What happened now?
What?
Softball.
If anyone takes our joke seriously, that's a them problem. To be honest.
Okay.
We have no hard feelings towards... Well, I have hard feelings towards some of the Squid Game comments. But outside of that, no hard feelings for anything. Like, I don't have anything bad to say about anime. People love it. I understand how popular it is, but it's just not for me.
Hold on, let me just...
And the sound thing I have is a joke. And if people take that serious, and that's a them problem.
Okay, practice on Saturday is canceled because of the heat.
Oh, wow.
That's serious. If they cancel softball, that's serious.
I wouldn't waste your time on Squid Game. Actually, you should. You should get your own opinion about it. I think it was horrible.
Shit, it's already 100 degrees and it's 11:30.
I know, it's brutal.
Sorry, okay. Softball. All
right, you want to jump into the podcast? You guys ready? I'm going to try something this week and see if it works. So, here we go. As Nikki's making noises with her drink. You ready? We have a hot mic, so just be aware of that.
Got it.
All right, you ready?
Mm-hmm.
And now the moment you've all been waiting for.
Hold. I'm not recording. I have to record. Let's try that again.
And now the moment you've all been waiting for.
It's time again for another episode of the Stikker Podcast with your hosts, Nikki and Steven.
Hell yeah! Another episode of the Stikker Podcast. Gonna call this episode 2 of season 4 since this is our 4th attempt at the podcast. We'll see if this one sticks.
Season 4.
I don't know, but we'll see.
Season
I
4000.
mean, it feels like now with the kids in school, and Wednesday has always kind of been like the morning that we have time to do something like this.
Yes.
I mean, there's really never time to do anything.
This is kind of my reset day. This is my, beginning of the week, I guess, for me. I mean, the kids and everything starts on Monday, but this.
Yeah, because I
my
mean,
weekday.
Don't want to do it on Monday.
No, God, no.
I mean, Mondays are really tough because I'm spending all night editing the House of Dragon reaction.
Word.
Which, I mean, I don't have to do it that way. I'm not a huge believer in being first with getting videos posted, but it actually works best for my personal schedule. Just getting it done, sleeping in a little bit on Monday, and then just going on with my day. And I've got a couple work meetings or whatever in the morning, but it makes the most sense getting it done just as soon as possible. Sometimes it doesn't always fit in the schedule, but Mondays are tough. Tuesdays I got jiu-jitsu, and then Wednesdays, like you said, it almost feels like the reset kind of moment where, all right, let's get it. Let's get some stuff done. And I've been wanting to do the podcast for a long time, and it just hasn't been consistent.
If you consider this the first day of the week, then technically you only have a couple more days left.
Right? That is a really sneaky trick Like, I don't know what you guys are talking about. We only have 2 days left in our week.
Oh, yeah.
Like, our week starts on Wednesday.
Shoot. Well, I mean, literally, with the kids' schedules, and we work on Saturdays, we work on Sundays.
Now, thanks to Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
Sundays are going to get crazy because The Walking Dead returns on Sunday also, where there's still a couple overlap.
Yeah.
But we'll just watch The Walking Dead on Monday.
And
instead.
wasn't that voice amazing?
Which voice?
The voice that announces our podcast.
I mean,
I will just
the amazing voice of Paul T.
Just swoon.
Yeah, amazing. Absolutely amazing voice. And we're spoiled.
I'm going to get shit for that.
We have so many. Like, I've got I have 4 intros that I get to choose from. So, we'll mix it up like every podcast.
Like
and
Paul,
see where it goes.
like Mr. Paul Sura says, that was his very first contribution to us.
Yeah.
Was making the intro to the podcast.
He's made a lot of amazing stuff for us. We're very grateful and, again, very spoiled.
Very.
But episode 2.
Making stuff all the time.
Episode 2, House of the Dragon. I thought it was amazing. I am very happy to see that there was a 2% increase in viewership from episode 1 to episode 2. I think that's a great sign.
Everybody likes a 2% increase. Any increase
Yeah, buddy.
is a good increase.
Hey, now.
You know what I'm saying?
I mean, usually I feel like after premieres, viewership kind of dips, but I feel like the word of mouth is spreading about this show. I feel like...
2% increase and mouth? No.
Oh my god. What kind of podcast is this?
An adult one?
Oh my lord. Demonetized.
Hide your kids.
This is the fun dynamic. I try to be serious talking about stuff, and Nikki throws in the jokes.
Dude, this is literally our relationship.
Yeah.
No, 2% is not technically a lot.
It is when you're talking about TV shows and we're talking about
buddy.
10 million.
I feel like any percent in increase is good, though.
2% of 10 million is a lot.
Word.
Or 20 million or whatever the number was opening day or whatever. But overall, I think it makes sense because I think the show is really good through 2 episodes. I think the characters are intriguing. Focus. Focus.
I can't focus.
And I think it feels like Game of Thrones. I think it's getting there, and I think people are going to start grasping on, and the moment something crazy happens, like obviously episode 1 had some crazy shit in it, but I think once something crazy happens, I know I wonder if they're going to stick to the whole penultimate episode thing, like in the original show, where episode 9 is like...
Actually, that was just a comment on the live.
The craziest shit goes down.
Yeah.
In episode 9, like, I feel like we're building towards that. I'm going to be very interested
I'm
to see
going to be
how that
sad
goes.
if they don't, to be honest. I'm going to be sad if they don't.
What if they throw it in episode 8?
Just go fucking ham. Well, is there 10? Is there 10 episodes?
Yeah.
Okay, then they have to do it on 9.
Yeah, so... And of course, I have another fun little rant to start today's stream because the damn comments got me again on the reaction video. These sons of... Never mind.
Oh, hey, that's my...
I know. I made another incorrect statement. I think this is going to become like a weekly thing, I feel like.
Yeah, how many times can Steven be incorrect during one episode?
How many factual errors can I make? And how many episodes in a row can I say something wrong to where there's like 500 comments correcting me? Because again, people aren't going to check the comment section and be like, oh, someone else already corrected Steve. Let's not make him feel any dumber than he might already feel.
No, that's pile on. Make it worse.
But I was wrong about the dagger. It wasn't Damon's dagger that was in the original show. It was the King's dagger.
Sorry. So sorry.
Viserys was carrying it around in episode 1.
That is my one request. Y'all, read each other's comments.
It doesn't happen.
Give it a thumbs up if you like the comment and you were just about to comment the same. It helps so much.
That level of expectation is way too high. People aren't going to do that. It's fine. But overall, again, I very much enjoyed episode 2. What'd you think of episode 2?
Oh, I thought it was great. I mean, there's some parts in it, not a fan. I mean, we'll probably discuss those in a few minutes, but for the most part, every episode is going to be good.
I like
Game of Thrones. Hello?
I like that they kind of shifted. Like, they gave us a bunch of shock value stuff. Obviously, they were building story and characters in episode 1, but the jousting tournament, the C-section scene, like, there were moments in that episode that were very shocking to watch.
Yeah.
This episode, I felt like, was more a story building type of show or episode where we're really kind of starting to see the chess pieces move. Characters are kind of putting themselves in position, and we're kind of seeing things play out in terms of like who's going to side with who's going to be on, like, what relationship are we going to see, whose houses are going to start, like, working together. And that was really heavy in this episode. And I think that was really the main theme. I mean, they
dragon egg.
They showed up.
Dude.
The dragons showed up.
Yes.
And there was an egg, a stolen egg, that had to be returned.
I'm gonna go get my stolen egg.
Do you have any eggs back? We got a big egg right there. It's right. Where is it? Right.
On the Game of Thrones
it's right
shelf.
there. Yeah.
Like the whole section back there. There's like one for Game of Thrones, one for Star Wars, one. We got Minecraft, scary shit.
And talking about like the chess pieces moving and people putting themselves in position, I think starting off with Lord Corlys, he's making a pitch to the king, be like, hey, marry my daughter. Let's blend our houses together. And I mean, on paper, outside of her being 12, which again, as parents, it's just not something that's ever gonna just be like, oh, cool, yeah, this old dude's gonna marry this 12-year-old. Okay, cool, whatever. Regardless of what the time was and how things happened back then.
Something about that.
Like, it doesn't, not something we have to harp on, but it's one of those things where we're parents who have 10 and 8-year-olds, and
I couldn't imagine.
It's just never going to be a comfortable topic. It's just the way it is.
Because unfortunately, as a parent, I put myself in those shoes.
Right.
And I think about if I were to send my baby off with a grown-ass fucking guy. Are you joking?
Yeah.
And I try to, like...
It's not a lack of understanding of the times.
I try to separate myself because this is just a show. This is just a show. This is a different time. Like, but she's an infant.
Yeah, and we weren't okay with it in the original show either. Like, that doesn't...
I also was not okay with the incest, but, you know...
It's just one of those things...
neither here nor there.
Yeah, it's just one of those things that as parents of 2 young daughters, it's always going to feel kind of icky. But that marriage, like, on paper, the marriage and the houses coming together make a shit ton of sense. Because the Valerian house, the wealthiest in Westeros, they've got the biggest fleet, and Targaryens, they've got dragons. So you combine the money and the fleet with those dragons, you're basically an unstoppable force.
Well, and there's
no one's gonna fuck with
Targaryen
you.
in that line.
Yes.
So, also ew, because that's a little incestual.
I mean...
But I get it.
It's all part of the world. It is what it is. And he made that really strong pitch, and then, you know, he was kind of, like, King was debating it, and, like, he kind of seeked some advice, and obviously things wouldn't go that way. But... You know, he and this is another really interesting aspect of it. We're going to talk more about Alicent in a minute because there was a specific question about it, about her and her role in this. But he made the decision to marry Alicent, which, again, her dad handed the king, Otto, the moment the queen died, he's like, go talk to him.
That was...
Like, go spend time with him.
Yuck.
And I don't know if anything happened physical between them.
Maybe not yet. I don't think you do that yet.
Yeah, I just think that she's kind of like comfort for him and hanging out with him and like giving him someone to talk to. And
well, Rhaenyra's 15.
Yeah, she's older.
Is she 15?
No, she's older. I think she's like 17, 18.
But still, I want you guys to know that, like, when we watch stuff on TV and I talk, I react, that stuff is actual what is happening in real life, because we'll be watching a show and I'll be like, dude, nobody wants your old balls, okay?
I mean, she said that last night while watching it. Because we were it was on TV, so we were watching it last night.
I was rewatching episode 15. Yeah.
Episode
15?
Yeah,
I saw Rhaenyra's 15 in the show. We were watching episode 2 last night on TV, and I was like, dude, nobody wants your old balls, okay?
So, so Otto had the foresight to be like, the queen died, I have a daughter, I want our houses to kind of come together.
Absolutely. I mean, and I understand why he wants that. You know, he wants the progression. He wants the status.
Something interesting, and I think this is like an unavoidable thing because of the prequel and the new show. We've got a lot of like comparisons going on with like who's gonna be Littlefinger in the show? Who's the Ned Stark? Like, who's the Robb Stark? Like, there's a lot of that going on. And everybody, like, there's so many comments talking about how Otto is going to be the Littlefinger. And my immediate thought is just like, if you think someone's already Littlefinger, then they're not Littlefinger.
Oh, that's true.
Like, there's no way anyone watching through episode 2 of Game of Thrones thought that he would be the schemer and player and mastermind that he was by the end of the show. If you think someone's already Littlefinger, he's not Littlefinger. It's going to be, if there's even a Littlefinger in this current world. Otto is way too deliberate. He's making it way too obvious, especially to us, the viewers.
I don't think
what
he's
his
as good
are.
as like the Littlefinger was.
No.
Because
I think he's really deliberate with his play, and like he's not trying to hide shit.
the Littlefinger that we know was way more slick, and he could have totally talked his way out of the conversation with Damon on the bridge. I feel like our Otto was not talking his way out of a paper bag.
I mean, yeah, but it's more about like the scheming, the behind the scenes, like in the shadows kind of thing. It's like, I don't think we would know who Littlefinger is yet through 2 episodes of this show. That's just kind of my thought. That's exactly where my brain goes. And it's like, nah, like he might be a schemer. He might be just trying to deceive people. But again, I think Otto's super
way more
deliberate.
Obvious.
Yeah, he's very deliberate
Way
with all
more
of his
obvious.
actions.
Yes, Littlefinger started to get stupid as he got like later on in the years of Game of Thrones, but in the beginning you didn't fucking know it was Littlefinger.
Yeah.
You didn't know what was happening. You didn't know what he was doing in the back.
I feel like if the writing wanted us to think like Otto to be along the lines of something like that, then Alicent would have just gone to the king's room versus seeing Otto tell his daughter like, hey, go comfort the king, go see the king.
Correct.
It would have been a little bit more not as obvious.
Right.
But after all of that played out with Alicent and the king picks Alicent and you see Rhaenyra's just
Devastation.
like the moment she looks here,
Betrayal.
like when the king looks at Alicent and Rhaenyra's just like, wait, what? Like it's just even like she's doing a great, like watching last night on like, I think it was like the second time I watched the episode. Well, actually technically the third because I edit. I think this actress is awesome. I'm loving this character so far. I love all the relationships that she's had to this point, and just the relationship with her dad. I mentioned this while we were watching on replay last night. I love the relationship with her dad. I love how feisty she is with everyone else who gives her any kind of like attitude, like, oh, you're just a girl, or oh, you're just young, you're this, you're that. I love the way she gets snarky with people. I loved her just cruising in on her dragon during the
oh my God.
the Dragonstone scene. Like that shit looks so cool, just flying through the mist, through the clouds there. I love her attitude so far. I love her relationship even with her uncle, because again, I feel like Damon I think he's the most interesting character to this point, because I can't get my finger on who he is, what his intentions are, what exactly are you going to do in this show. Like the moment Otto was like, oh, by doing what you're doing, you're claiming war to your king, and swords came out in that moment. It's like, okay, well, you're willing to fight.
Watch where you're swinging that.
But it's like, okay, I think he's super interesting, but because of the actions of the king picking Alicent as his wife, you see Lord Corlys kind of freak out a little bit, and obviously he gets pissed. And he was warned that he would get pissed. He's like, whoever his advisor was, I don't remember what that dude's name was, but he's like, Lord Corlys is going to be kind of mad. He's probably going to be upset.
Yeah, I forget his name.
So, I mean, yeah, it's. I'm sure we'll get it later, but
yeah, it's fine.
So Corlys goes.
I should go grab my notebook.
So the moment Corlys loses that kind of his plan of merging with the Targaryens in that moment, he goes and seeks a meeting with Damon, and he brings Damon out, and they have a conversation, and they have a really good, like, there was a couple things in that conversation that I loved. I absolutely loved. Like, Damon was like, oh yeah, that's been my brother's weakness, and Corlys is like, what? Like, being king. And then Corlys goes on and like talks a little bit of shit about the king, and then Damon's like, only I could talk shit about my brother like that. I loved that moment, because it's one of those things where it kind of shows his attitude, shows his feistiness too. He's like, you can't talk shit about my brother. I can talk shit about my brother.
Isn't that just the way, though?
But we're gonna...
I think we all do that.
We're gonna build that alliance, and like, if he didn't like his brother, if he didn't have respect for... Like, I think he's got a level of respect for his brother and his love for his brother, obviously. If he didn't
there
care...
has to be something there. Otherwise, he would just
let him
go
shit-talk him.
straight, just, like, savage, like, fucking take over shit and kill people. I think
and he would
if he didn't actually love him.
And he would let Corlys talk shit.
Yeah.
He wouldn't defend his brother in that moment.
Right.
So we see that alliance get built as well, because we've got this whole situation with the crab eaters. Is that what they're called?
Crab feeders.
Crab feeders.
Yeah.
Like, these folks look fucking scary and nasty.
They look like Pirates of the Caribbean.
Yeah. I mean, they got, like, clearly they got, like, grayscale.
Like,
and so these dudes are a threat. They're feeding people to crabs. That just sounds absolutely horrible.
Like Davy Jones Locker.
Yeah, 100%. Absolutely. So Corlys needs help with that, and, you know, King Viserys is, like, kind of non-committal to attacking because he doesn't want to start any problems or whatever. But you see that, and so all the chess pieces are kind of forming into place. We got Corlys with Damon. We see now King Viserys, who's marrying Alicent Hightower. We've got these bonds building. I'm very curious to see kind of what's going to happen with Rhaenyra now, and what is her attitude going to be like? Mm-hmm. What is her thought process like? Is this relationship with her dad going to disappear now? Because
I think it might, because she felt betrayal.
Oh,
Alicent didn't say shit,
no.
And then her dad didn't say shit.
Did Alicent know? It kind of.
She had to have known something. She went through the trouble of going to get this little statuette repaired for him as like a special gesture. Nobody just does that. Everybody else is like, oh, sucks. I know when shit breaks. Oh God, that's awful. She went through the trouble of going to the Mason to get it corrected.
And you see her sitting there picking her fingers during
She's
that.
nervous.
Like, before that conversation, like, before the reveal happened, she's sitting there, like, messing with her fingers, which is a clear sign of her being nervous. And so, yeah, it makes sense that she would know and kind of have
As I'm doing the exact same thing.
So, I think the development of Rhaenyra is going to be really interesting because, again, she's dealing with a lot. She's been named heir to the throne, which now becomes a little bit of an issue because...
Does that change? Does then any child that Alicent produces, does that become an heir after Rhaenyra? Or before?
So Viserys told her, I think, basically, regardless of what happens, you're the heir to the throne.
Right.
If she has a boy, that's going to create obvious tension, obvious problems. If Otto's still around, he's going to be like, my son is the heir to the throne, not her,
but
it's
like,
him.
When he becomes of age, does he then like kick her out?
Well, there's going to definitely be conflict for sure under those circumstances. So it's definitely going to be a situation where there's going to be issues, and the people, the council, everyone involved, how on board are they with breaking this tradition of first queen to ever sit on the Iron Throne? If there's a boy heir produced by the king, I feel like there's going to even be some issues there, which I don't know. I don't know if we're going to be getting pushed to like a Rhaenyra like mad queen status, but I don't know if I'd push her too hard. I don't know if I'd create too much issues with her because, again, it's been announced. I just very interested to kind of see where it goes because, again, I'm loving her as a character. I think she's strong. She's super feisty.
Yes. Well, I was going to say something about Alicent. Like, I don't want anybody to think that I blame her. I do not.
We have a whole topic for Alicent.
Oh, okay.
So we'll definitely get to that.
Yeah.
Because I think she is a major player now, obviously, in this world, in this story.
But just by default of who her father is, I really like Alicent.
Yeah.
So.
But to put a bow on Rhaenyra's character through 2 episodes, like, her relationship and interactions with her uncle Damon have been so cool. And just the way kind of Damon like looks at her and talks to her, I like that she showed up speaking the language and like showing him a little bit of respect, but also kind of talking shit.
Yeah,
it's like,
if
hey,
you're
by the
gonna
way,
fucking kill me, then kill me and get it over with. I'm sick of all this back and forth.
And she knows that he won't do it because like, regardless of what his attitude is, I think there's love for his family. He cares about his niece. He cares about his brother. He cares about the Targaryen. He's not going to pull his sword out and kill Rhaenyra. Like, he's not going to do it. But on the flip side, you know there's something else brewing in his brain to where he's not happy where things are. And she just kind of came in talking shit like, hey, by the way, like, my father named me, like, ruler of Dragonstone, and you took my seat. And he's like, well, you're not of age yet, and this and that. So I think there's it almost feels like a brother-sister dynamic, even though they're uncle and niece. Mm-hmm. But the relationship is definitely one that is going to be fun to watch kind of evolve and keep going. And speaking of Dragonstone, by the way,
yes,
how fucking cool was it to see Dragonstone?
Yes.
I mean, the camera angles and the cinematography when they showed up at Dragonstone was so cool.
And the fog.
It looked awesome.
I do.
And
like
just
that a lot.
the visuals there.
I
and
agree.
Seeing that Damon in like the main room where Daenerys was at the end of the show was so cool. And just the dragons flying in and just the whole visuals of that scene were awesome. So, okay. Bow on Rhaenyra. So, the thing that live members get to do, those who are here, those who are members of the channel, they get to submit things when we ask for it. And every Monday, I'm going to put up a thread over on the reaction channel asking members, do you have questions, comments, thoughts about the episode, or whatever we might be talking about on the podcast, because it's not always just going to be Game of Thrones. We want to expand this, we want to do more, and we've got some questions that aren't Game of Thrones related, but we're going to get through all the Game of Thrones stuff first. And you want to read the first one?
Ting! Do you think Alicent Hightower has good intentions with Viserys, or do you think she's trying to gain power? I don't think she's trying to gain power. I think she's just trying to listen to her dad. As, like, unfortunate as that is, she literally, I feel like, had no say in what she wanted. Do I really think that she wants to be with some old guy? No, I don't. I think she wants to be in love. I think anybody in that kind of time knows this is my job, but do I really want this job? Probably not. I would probably like to fall in love with someone my age. But, I mean... I
think people understand the way things work.
Yes.
In King's Landing and...
You have to. If you... I mean, then you haven't been paying attention. If you don't understand the rules and...
And there's no happy endings.
No, and there's no happy endings. And the night is, you know, dark and full of terrors.
Yes. Like, my thought of Alicent, I thought that presented a really interesting topic. Because I think currently, in this moment, she doesn't have any bad intentions.
Right.
I think she's being put in a position where she's going to start getting corrupted. I think she's going to start kind of feeling what all of this might feel like, and I think she might shift. Mm-hmm. Because of the way her dad is kind of forcing things, I think the way her dad is kind of like pushing her to go do things, and obviously his plan worked because now she's married. She's going to be married. Are we going to get a wedding? Holy shit. Are we going to get a wedding? Oh, shit.
Well, those haven't really gone great in the past.
Oh, I didn't even think about that until this moment.
The
Holy
red
shit.
Wedding, the purple wedding.
We might get a wedding. I think a lot of, I can't, yeah, oh my God. That's hilarious. Some shit's going to go down.
Somebody's dying.
Man,
someone is dying.
If the Reigns of Casimir start playing, I'm out. It's like, holy shit. I didn't even think about that. We're going to have a wedding.
Dude, I need to see some direwolves, though. I know this is not... we haven't seen a Stark.
We might see the Starks soon.
But I need a direwolf in my life.
I mean, we'll definitely wouldn't be the wolves that we know. That's
Sorry,
for sure.
Thinking of red weddings.
Yeah. So sad. So sad.
Puppy.
But, like, even Damon talked about getting married. So there might be multiple weddings. I don't think...
She is not.
I don't think...
I am not... I cannot remember her name. I'm so sorry to... And she referred to herself as this, so I have nothing against sex work. Just putting this out there. She called herself a whore, but Damon's whore has no interest in this shit. So
she was just like, wait,
you
what?
want me to marry and have a baby for you?
And she made it clear.
What the fuck? I did not. I wanted to be free of, like, being basically tortured and beaten and all this shit. This is not the plan.
Yeah, and she made it clear, it's like, I can't have kids.
Yeah.
It's like, hello, you might have wanted to check with me first before kind of making that claim.
And then he's like,
But-
oh yeah, kids are awful anyways. I'm like,
But
bitch?
I think Alicent is going to become a problem. I don't think she is now.
No.
Again, I think
She's still innocent now.
I think this world, and depending on how Rhaenyra deals with the relationship now, I think they're gonna have some clashes. I think they're gonna have some problems now because I don't think Rhaenyra is gonna be happy about this, obviously. Or maybe she kind of gets over it and maybe sees that, like, okay, at least it's my friend versus someone else. But again, it's my dad. So
and that's gonna be my stepmom.
I don't know. Like, that's
Well,
gonna,
obviously they don't call them stepmoms.
right.
there.
That relationship's gonna be awkward. But I think my prediction with Alicent is that she's going to turn into a problem. I don't want to say she's going to go as far as becoming like a Cersei.
No.
But I feel like the
Dude,
position.
Cersei.
But hey, you never know. She's young. I don't know what this position, potential power, becoming a queen, what other influences her dad might have on her. I don't know where this might go, but I feel like currently she's fine. But I think in time, as she lives this life more, that she's going to build into a problem. I think her attitude's going to shift. I think her desires are going to shift.
Yeah, well,
the
I
moment
mean-
you get a little bit of power.
I think that should probably come with the territory in a sense.
But it always, comment right there, power corrupts the best. And I think that's
And
exactly.
power is power, am I right?
I think that's exactly where this is going. So
Yeah.
I think Alicent, she's a very, again, all of these characters, the main players so far, have been super intriguing. I've very much enjoyed all of them to this point. I think Alicent now, after episode 2, is going to be a big deal. And I think she's going to become a problem for a majority of people, potentially. So, and specifically becoming a problem for Rhaenyra. So we'll kind of see where that goes.
Well, Lord Corlys, you think he's going to sabotage some shit? See, that's what might happen at the wedding. Corlys is going to be like, fuck this.
I think he has.
Sabotage.
I think he
And
has
just
other things
stick
to
his
deal with.
Poor little baby daughter up there.
Yeah, I think he's got some, like, he's obviously got an agenda like everyone, but I think he needs to focus on the crab feeders versus the, like, he might be like, okay, this happened, I need to move on, and I've got Damon to help me. Go take your dragon and just fucking blast all these people out of here. I think he's probably gonna take his gold cloaks down to that beach and just get into a big fight. I think that's what's kind of coming. But we'll see what happens there. But he's definitely not happy, obviously. So
He's very Vigo.
he felt like, well, you're talking about Damon. I'm talking about Corlys.
I'm sorry.
I feel like Corlys, like, I feel like he was super confident
yeah.
in his place, like the conversation that he had. So again, I think that's going to be an interesting idea and kind of storyline going forward.
And Van Rod, I don't know if you guys noticed, but both of the king's wounds are from his throne. Do you think it's foreshadowing how the throne and his role as king will be the death of him, or that his own decisions are making him weak? When the king cut his finger on the throne after having Damon leave, felt like a foreshadowing of one small decision like the cut, possibly have a major effect down the line, finger becoming infected. I mean, that's a good question.
Yeah, you see him getting the their little treatment with the
Maggots.
the maggots on his wound. But I think through the first 2 episodes, I feel like the biggest thing that's being told to us is that King Viserys is weak.
Yes.
We've heard it multiple times, especially mostly coming from Damon. I think it's absolutely a horrible kind of message or foreshadowing moment that the king is being cut by the throne. That's definitely not good. He's got the big, I don't know what the status is of whatever's going on with his back,
It's basically an open wound.
if that cut is from the first episode, that means he's been dealing with the same cut for 6 months.
Yeah.
Because that's the time jump that we got.
Well, not that.
The one on his finger.
Yeah, yeah.
In his hand.
Yeah, I'm like the one on his back.
We didn't
that
see
one's
anything.
like longer.
Yeah, we didn't see any update on that wound or cut or whatever that just got going on.
They just
there.
kept saying that it wasn't healing and yuck.
I mean, his decision making, again, it might come across as weak, but at the same time, from what we've seen so far, with the exception of kind of what Damon did with the gold cloaks, just slashing shit off, and what we've seen with the crab feeders, it seems like Westeros is in a really quiet place right now.
Well, that's what I was saying. I was like, Damon might, look at his brother and think you're weak because he's not. Oh no, I don't want to do that. Damon might look at him and think he's weak, but that's only because Damon is so eccentric, so
rogue, as the episode was called.
Correct.
Rogue
I think he's
prince.
So rogue. I don't think of somebody who keeps their composure as weak. I think somebody who can keep their composure is way stronger than someone who just flies off the handle. I think that is a problem. If you just fly off the handle at any one moment, we gotta go start a war. I think that is terrifying. I think somebody who's more calculated, with their decisions is way more, strong of the mind, I guess. But, obviously Damon doesn't want to see that.
Right.
He wants to see fucking war, craziness, chaos.
I mean, he went, chaos, it's a ladder, obviously.
It's an escalator.
So, the two major kind of conflicts that we've seen through these 2 episodes so far is the thieves, rapists, killers in the street that Damon and his crew took out, and then these crab feeders. He hasn't wanted to engage in any of this.
Right. And
Damon,
I understand that the show is trying to show you that this king is weak.
Yeah.
I totally understand. I get that.
Punching
Not
you in the
lost
face
on
with
me.
it. Yeah, they're punching you in the face with it.
Yeah.
So Damon, with his rogue attitude, kind of handled the people in the street on his own with his gold cloaks, slicing off peepees, as I have mentioned in the past.
Penis.
Chopping off heads and hands and just killing people.
More than one
He did
head.
that against the king's order. King didn't want that, but he's out there doing it for the crown.
He's he's doing it.
Right. And
A
now...
little less talk, a little more action.
And now with the whole situation with Corlys, where he's been pitching this idea I need my bay. We can't lose that area. We need to go handle the crab feeders. And again, the king's just I don't really want to start a war. We've never done that before. I don't want to do... So it's one of those things where I guess until it's a crazy threat, you're not going to act.
Yeah, I guess it's till it's on your doorstep.
And I think he's really comfortable with this current state of peace that's happening in Westeros, that he doesn't want to spark anything. But obviously, Corlys and Damon are both we got to handle some shit.
Winter is coming.
Winter is coming. And it feels like it's going to be another rogue situation where Damon and Corlys together are going to go handle the crab feeders without, the king having any knowledge of it.
I think it's one person crab feeder.
Crab feeder, but
not feeders.
I mean, that's what they're doing. So I'm just calling the group of them that until otherwise. But
yeah,
it feels like it's going to be another rogue thing happening where they're going to go make this decision for themselves to go handle this. Kind of like with Rhaenyra getting on her dragon and going to Dragonstone. She didn't tell the king. She didn't tell anyone until she arrived.
Go take care of my business.
Yeah, so I think there's going to be a lot of that happening. I think there's going to be a lot of rogue decisions being made. And there's nothing more that shows weakness than the people who are supposed to be listening to you and the people that are supposed to be your family and the people that you're ruling over.
If they just go and do it anyway.
Exactly.
It's because it's easier to ask for forgiveness than it is to ask for permission.
For sure.
Right?
And it's clearly, even with Rhaenyra, her dad was mad in the moment, but then they went and had a nice heartfelt conversation before she went and broke her heart with the whole
obviously,
announcement.
she would have asked for permission, they would have caused a larger fight, I feel like.
Yeah, for sure. And that leads me to kind of my next thought about King Viserys. Do you see him snapping? Do you see him hitting a point where he's fucking fed up and pissed that no one's listening to him, they're doing all this stuff, and he turns into almost a Mad King situation where his
not until he gets married and has a baby.
Okay.
I think once he has an heir to the throne, I think he's being really soft right now because he's dealing with a lot. But once he's got more like stability in the back end, that doesn't sound good.
I just think he's gonna hit
he's gonna fucking lose it.
I think he's gonna hit a breaking point.
Yeah.
I think he's gonna come to a point where it's like, if none of the people close to me are listening, and they're just going and doing their own rogue shit, they're just being compulsive and doing what they want. I feel like it's we all know it's in there.
Yeah.
He's a Targaryen. It's in there.
There's fire in that blood.
The Targaryens have that in them, and I for sure think if he gets pushed far enough to that line, I think he's going to shift his mindset and get upset and get pissed and get angry, like in Inside Out. And fire comes flying out of his head.
If you don't clip that and make that something, I'm gonna be pissed, y'all. Y'all need to clip that portion.
So I definitely think there's a lot of foreshadowing through these first 2 episodes. I think there's definitely been a lot of really good foundation built, and I feel like there's a lot of just, again, I'm gonna use the word you just used it, but a lot of chaos coming. I think it's gonna happen. It's Game of Thrones. We're not gonna get this cookie cutter, smooth, simple story. There's gonna be some shit going down, and we're already kind of seeing it build there. And I don't know if you ever want to push a calm king to a limit.
Right.
Especially when he has access to what he has access to.
Right.
So, first 2 episodes, love them. They're bangers. If anyone has anything else specific about this episode or show, get them in Super Chat now. We'll take a quick little break. And then we've got a bunch of other comments that we're going to hit on and just kind of wrap up the podcast. Do you want to take a drink?
Because we don't have all day. Because I got to pick up kids.
Yeah, we'll be done.
Dude, fuck off.
Just let them handle it. Don't worry about it. Who cares? Let them handle it. Don't worry about it. We have mods for a reason.
Ugh, I hate trolls. Shut up. Thank you, Aaron.
These people are so, sad little lives they have.
Okay, but the question was, are you gay, bro? So what if I was? So what if I was?
Yeah.
Who cares? The fuck?
Yeah.
Anyways.
Just ignore that stuff.
I mean, like it's a bad thing. No. Jon Snow rules? Awesome.
Why does everyone say Mad King? Because there was a Mad King.
That's what they called him.
When he snapped and
Yes.
pig shit at everybody.
Oh my god. Oh my god, here we go again. Aaron, you gotta do it again.
What the hell? Barty Bart is a loser.
Please don't think everyone is literally... We know that. We know. It was referenced in Game of Thrones.
And it was presented as a topic.
So that's what we talk about. We know not everyone is literally the Mad King, but that's what you call somebody in the show.
The Targaryens have a history of it.
Yes.
It's in their genes. It's in their bloodline. It's the way it goes.
Yeah.
All right, so no, what is happening?
I don't know. I got it out for Bart Simpson, apparently.
Someone cares a lot.
Yeah.
All right, so we've wrapped up our episode 2 conversations. Let's just jump into some of the other comments that were presented to us.
Okay, Miles is editing. What's up, Miles? Each of you gets to pick one Game of Thrones spinoff that HBO has to make. What would you choose? Which character, what time, and why is your answer Arya's adventures after sailing off in season 8? I would love to see that.
I mean, I feel like that's the best answer.
I would love to see Arya's adventures. Absolutely.
I think I agree that that's probably the most intriguing story. Obviously, we're getting a Jon Snow show, which, I mean, again, they'll make it interesting to where what he's up to, what they got going on. People are wishing for retcons to take place in that show. I don't think that's gonna happen, but I think seeing what Arya's up to and going to a unknown world, an unknown place, just sailing off and seeing what she runs into, I think that sounds interesting. I love Arya. I think Arya is such a fun character and so cool, and people are like get really upset at the idea that she's the one who killed the fuck's his name? Why am I blanking on the Ice King dude? What the fuck's his name?
Oh, the Night King.
Jesus. Brain fart. Holy shit.
Well, your brain fart like seeped over to me. I was like, wait a minute.
Good lord.
What
like,
is it?
people were mad that Arya killed the Night King.
It was awesome.
I thought
the way the dagger dropped.
I thought it made the most sense because of her training and the way, like, regardless of what you think about that story and how that situation played out and how the Night King didn't fight Jon Snow, like, I thought that was a huge missed opportunity. But the way the way it was presented to us, no one was getting to him. Mm-hmm. Like, you couldn't just walk up to him and fight him.
Right.
The fact that she had all this ninja training and like was literally the most stealth person in the entire world at that time, it made sense that she would come flying out of nowhere, have the dagger, which episode 1 of this show, not Damon's dagger, Viserys' dagger. Screwed that up. I'm probably wrong about that too, but who the hell knows. I thought it made a ton of sense that Arya would pull that off because, again, the storyline presented made it obvious that no one was just walking up to him and killing him.
Word.
It's just kind of the way it goes.
It's not happening.
Yeah, I think Arya. I think I agree with Miles. I think the Arya spinoff would be pretty freaking awesome. So,
I'm also interested in Robert Baratheon. Also,
I mean, if we got a spinoff of Robert's Rebellion, that would be fucking insane. The fighting and the violence and that story, I think that would just be absolutely bonkers. I think Robert's Rebellion would be super dope, and getting like a younger version of him and kind of that story that played out, like that they told us about, seeing it play out would be so cool. I think that would probably be like a 1B for me in terms of kind of spin-offs that Game of Thrones could do. One thing I don't want to happen, I don't want Game of Thrones to turn into The Walking Dead. I don't want Game of Thrones to be like, oh, we got to keep this going.
Spin off here, spin off there, spin off this. Oh my God! Don't spin off into oblivion.
I mean, thankfully, the first 2 episodes of House of the Dragon has been awesome. But if I remember correctly, the first season of Fear the Walking Dead was actually good. I enjoyed that first season. It's when shit started going downhill towards, I think, like season 2, where things just started hitting the fan. I just don't want Game of Thrones. Again, if the stories are amazing and they're compelling and well written, cool, bring them on. I am all down for just endless Game of Thrones. It's good for business. Let's not fucking lie about that.
Yeah.
It's amazing shows. It's amazing fan base. Again, Game of Thrones legitimately changed our life with the reaction and the response to our reaction videos. And just the people that we've met, the community, just everything about it is just really shifted a lot of things for us. If the stories are well done and the characters are awesome, let's fucking go Game of Thrones all day.
Yes.
But if we're just doing it to do it, no,
I don't want to.
We can't do it.
No,
we can't do that.
I don't want fan service.
Yeah, you can't.
I don't want that because we know, especially in The Walking Dead, a shit ton of fan service. I don't want that.
Yeah.
It's not about me. Mm-hmm. It's about the story.
Right.
Stay true to the story. If it's part of the story, then it has to be told. If it's just because a bunch of fucking people complained about it, like when everybody says they need to redo the last season of Game of Thrones.
Right.
No, you may not have liked it. Some people may not have, loved it, but that's what happened.
Yeah.
Do I feel like it was rushed? Yes. I've said that repeatedly. I said that, I think, during the first episode of the last season of Game of Thrones, that it feels rushed.
I think you did say that right away.
This is how it happened.
Yeah. It's unfortunate that it got the response that it did and the way it was produced and created.
But there was no fan service in it.
Right. Because I think if it was like a fan service thing, people would have... Like, it would have been Jon and Daenerys standing tall at the end, standing on the throne together, which would have made me want to vomit. But I was down for the Night King obliterating everyone and him sitting on the throne with, like, a bunch of White Walker, Jon Snow folks kind of just taking the throne. So, fuck Dan and Dave. You got to get over that. I mean, it's one of those things where... You couldn't expect them to ever finish someone... Like, why are they responsible for finishing George's story?
It's George's fault.
Like, there's a lot of people at fault. HBO's at fault for not firing them when they presented this idea of like 6 episodes and we're going to do it like this. Like, the moment things didn't go according to plan, get rid of them. Bring in someone else to show run the last season and tell the story through 10 episodes, or tell the last 2 seasons 10 episodes each so that it could kind of go. But I mean, I watched the last season recently, and yeah, it has a shit ton of flaws, but I mean, it's one of those things where it didn't bother me as much in the moment, where
that's the story they told. That is the story.
I feel like a lot of things line up, a lot of things make sense. I don't like everything that happened. I don't love the way Jon Snow finished, this season, but I mean, it's one of those things where I feel like everybody's at fault. Everybody. Not one single person is to blame, because there's ways out of contracts. If things aren't working, you have a discussion and you do a buyout, or you figure out something. If their heart wasn't in it anymore, you move on. You see it happen all the time in other shows and movies. But again, it's one of those things where the book readers are still waiting to see if Jon Snow wakes up.
That sucks.
That's tough. So, I mean, that was a little bit of a tangent, but I don't want to harp on the last season of Game of Thrones.
No, I didn't. That's not what I was trying to do. I'm just trying to say, like, since we were talking about spin-offs, if the spin-off makes sense and it's good for the story, then absolutely. But if you're only doing it because somebody's complaining, then no, don't do that. Yeah,
I for sure think if the spin-offs are well done and well thought out, I think bring them all on. There's so many stories that could be told, and new stories. I think there's a bunch of source material that is still available for them to create. So yeah, I'm all about the spin-offs and getting stuff, as long as they stay true and they don't try to like retcon something with the Jon Snow show. Like, I think it'll be fine.
We did already talk about Damon. Sorry. Let's see.
But yes, through 2 episodes, we do still think he's trouble, because he's being presented as trouble.
Correct.
I think it's very clear.
Correct. Iron Minotaur! If you are able to rule your own house, what kind of house would it be? What alliances would you forge? How far will the house go to achieve the Iron Throne? Ooh, shit.
I mean, we have
Those are loaded questions.
We have a house that was created during the reactions of the first one, House Sava.
Yes.
I don't know, like, do we have knowledge of what happens in this world, or no knowledge of what happens in this world? Because I wouldn't go too hard at the throne. I think I'd act a lot like the Starks and kind of just serve as your own kind of world up in the north and do what you had to do and live how you had to live. I don't know if I'd be too excited to go sit on that throne with the way things go, but I think we'd be very similar to House Stark, and they would be
I agree.
They'd be my number one allegiance.
I agree.
Sure.
I would totally just be off in your own peace, like the start. If this was my thing, I have zero interest in starting bullshit.
Yeah. Peace.
Yes. FRV. I love the difference between Daenerys and Rhaenyra's way of speaking High Valyrian. Upon reading threads about HOTD, I discovered that Rhaenyra spoke High Valyrian in the correct accent compared to Daenerys, which kind of sounds like a Tiroshi accent. This is just me, though. It could be wrong. That makes sense because Rey was raised within culture, while Dany had no one to teach her proper High Valyrian. Absolutely. I think their accents are amazing.
I love her accent in the show.
Rhaenyra's way of speaking High Valyrian, it sounds more formal, and Dany's does sound more pieced together. Yeah.
I think I so far I have loved hearing them talk to each other in their language. I think it's been so cool. And I made a funny comment about Damon sounding like Ramsay. He does. He doesn't give me, like, people kept in the comments were like, oh, he gives me Ramsay vibes. He doesn't give me Ramsay vibes. Ramsay a fucking lunatic.
He's a psycho.
Like, he's a complete crazy person. I don't get that vibe from Damon. I just think he like, especially at Dragonstone on that bridge, when he was raising his voice, like, if you close your eyes, it sounds like Ramsay. I don't get Ramsay vibes from him.
No.
He sounds like Ramsay. But again, I'm very much digging the way they're talking to each other. I love their language. I think it's super cool. And again, it makes a good point. we're seeing things play out 200 years before the original Game of Thrones.
When it was more
formal.
common.
They know, they have proper teachings. You see how well built everything is, and like they're even like the jousting arena looked amazing.
Okay.
The High Council area looked amazing.
Absolutely.
Like everything looks just so grand because it hasn't been destroyed yet from wars. So
Better Call Mall 77. Do you guys have any other dog collectibles besides the fleece blanket? P.S. Damon is my favorite in House of the Dragon so far.
we have lots of blankets. We actually just updated with
My Pennywise blanket. I have my...
we have the Game of Thrones one that we put back
yes,
on
I
the
have the Game of
couch.
Thrones one.
We have lots of blankets for the...
There was one that got ruined. I have a Stranger Things blanket. My Walter White blanket got ruined. It got left near the rat cage, and the rats chose to eat it. So that was fucked. But other than that, yeah, we have, like, tons of stuff.
I think right now, Damon and Rhaenyra are my two favorite characters.
The couch is comfy. I'm very happy with that couch. It's not like sink in and you can't get up couch. It's like a nice firmness where you can
Forces
sit up.
posture a little bit. It's been really good.
Where it's like, if you want to like add some comfy stuff to it, add your pillows or your blankets or whatever, but like it's got good structure. So actually I do like that couch.
Last one.
Justin Travisa. Something that's not HOTD related, but could be. What are some of y'all's favorite reaction series and why? What reactions have hit you all personally?
It might not be House of the Dragons related, but it's definitely Game of Thrones related because Game of Thrones is not only my favorite show that I've ever watched, it is probably by a good distance my favorite show that we've ever reacted to for multiple reasons.
Like, I don't think I've cried so much in my life watching that show.
I mean, you might have had moments in other shows.
Well, no,
but consistent, like, the amount of cries that you had in Game of Thrones, there's a lot more.
The sobbing. The Red Wedding. Like, I mean, like, we're talking Train to Busan vibes. Like, the amount of crying that I did in that show, like, it was a lot. I was pissed. Jon Snow's death, I was pissed.
I mean, nothing...
I was crying, but I was angry crying.
Nothing is ever... And part of the question is what hit you personally. Nothing has... Like, I'm really good at watching a show and then going on my day because I kind of have to because I got so much shit going on. That fucked me up for at least a good day and a half until we watched the next episode. Like, when that episode played out, I was just like, what just happened? And then the scene with Jon, I think it was when his reveal played out, like, nothing gave me emotion when everyone was like King of the North. Like, there's just such, like, the characters and the story of Game of Thrones just hit so much different.
Yes.
Breaking Bad, Better Call Saul, Black Sails, I think from top to bottom are all better shows. I think better and favorite are two different things. I talk about it all the time. Game of Thrones is my favorite. I love those other shows, and specifically Black Sails. There were so many connections there with characters and like story. But
I haven't saw, especially Catherine's cry out.
Oh, during the Red Wedding?
Oh my god. When she cried out because that's her baby. Her baby.
Her firstborn, her oldest.
Rob, like her baby, and then her grandchild in the Ned. Baby Ned, okay? Baby Ned was in there.
Oh my god.
Waiting to be born. And that cry out, that guttural just, like that got me. You get me. It's, yes. That would be me.
There's very few pieces of content.
The Lannisters send their regards, bitch.
That built that kind of bond for me with the characters, and then got me like visibly angry. Like, I was like visibly angry by certain things, and I was like visibly like excited and happy for other like
yeah.
up until the end of the show, like, Jon Snow was such a special character. And I think that's why he's always going to be at the top of my list of my dudes. Where Ragnar's right there, there's other characters that are right there, but my connection and love for the character of Jon Snow is like nothing I've ever experienced. So, yes. Simple question, long answer. Game of Thrones, by far my favorite thing that we've ever reacted to, and has definitely hit me the hardest.
Right.
Whew. That was good.
Yeah.
That was a good question. I like that. I love all your questions. So that's going to wrap up the podcast this week. I think this show is going to be fantastic all the way through. Before we wrap this up, quick predictions about where we're going. What do you think is going to play out? What do you think is going to be the biggest issue?
I mean, there's definitely going to be the conflict between the king and Rhaenyra. Rhaenyra and Alicent. Viserys, well, the king, and Damon.
I think Damon's going to continue to be the most interesting because of just his overall personality that we've seen so far.
But I like that.
Oh, I love it.
Like, don't get me wrong. Damon is a bad dude, but he's good for the show. Like, he's good for the story.
I think he has
for the story.
If he was if he was all the way bad, I think
he's not all the way bad.
I think he would have killed Rhaenyra in that moment.
100%.
To take his
He would have
spot.
said, "Fuck off! I'm gonna take this shit." He would have never left.
There's definitely plenty of good in him, and I think a lot of worlds play with this, but I think Game of Thrones plays with it the most. They're a gray area with characters. I think Damon is like the top gray character currently in terms of, like, yeah, he's a problem, and I clearly think he's a problem, but on the flip side, he's not as big of a problem as he could potentially be. I feel like he could be so much worse. If he was, again, this goes to like the Ramsay thing. I feel like if he was Ramsay, I feel like he would have done a lot worse sooner already. So yeah. I don't think he's on that level. I think he has a deep love for his family. I think he loves his brother despite maybe wanting to be the heir. I think, and maybe disagreeing with his decision for Rhaenyra. I think he loves her despite, again, wanting maybe that spot. But I think he's going to proceed to be the most interesting. And I think we're going to get, like, one of my biggest predictions is I think King Viserys going to lose his patience soon. I think if stuff keeps playing, or he's going to get killed. It's very potential, very, very possible. He could be the Ned Stark of season 1, for sure. You could see that kind of happening. But I'm expecting phenomenal storytelling. I'm expecting flawless, just visuals, and so far through 2, it's been so good. And I love having these kind of more in-depth conversations because instant reaction versus talking about it days later. 2 completely different things.
Right.
Letting the episode digest, even having a minute of downtime to like rewatch some stuff on HBO when it's on because they're replaying the show like crazy, obviously, as they should.
Right.
But it just gives a different perspective from our live in the moment reaction versus letting things kind of sink in and digest.
I agree.
So, all right, that's going to do it for another week, another one down, and we'll be back next Wednesday for more House of the Dragons and whatever else y'all want to talk about.
Yep. I'm a woman of few words. Occasionally.
Cool. All right. That was a good conversation. Thanks, everyone.
Bubblegum is not a good flavor anymore. It used to be when I was a little kid. It is not anymore, Pulsera. Thank you guys for all the super chats. Thank you for all the folks that joined the channel, the subscription and the channel. Thank you so much, Colin. Thank you for the laughs. Thank you, Colin. Thank you guys so much. Can you hit the 10? Who was the 10?
What?
Who was the $10?
Oh, Matthew.
Matthew, thank you so much for the 10. Thank you guys very, very much for your contributions to this channel. I appreciate it very, very much.
All of it helps a ton.
Yes. You guys, when you're talking in chat, let's try not to get mean with each other.
Were they getting mean with each other?
There were some comments that were a little aggressive. You don't need to be aggressive with each other. We can all have opinions, and we can all, like, share our opinions without getting angry at each other. I don't think that that's necessary. You don't need to call names or do any of that stuff or say you're wrong because
Opinions can't be wrong.
Because my opinion is that Dany is not a hero. So sorry. I'm just going to poop all over that one. Sorry, not a when you murder your entire
The people that you're coming to rule.
people, yeah, when you literally burn them all, you can't be also a hero. It doesn't work like that. For me. Just for me. That's just my opinion. Yeah. Amber Darko! Hey girl, hey! You guys, if you are not already subscribed to Timber Reels, you need to.
I think the funniest, like the going back and watching all of, because I like the way HBO was doing the marathons with Game of Thrones before House of the Dragon aired. They were literally doing like full seasons per day, and so I was watching a ton of comments or a ton of episodes, and like there were signs of Dany going crazy and wanting to kill everyone in season 1.
I mean, I get it. She was put through a lot.
Of course.
She oh, and now you want to take my shit away? Oh, now you want to fucking kill my dragon? Bitch, I'm gonna lose my fucking shit. I get it.
Even in episode 1 where she's being forced to call Drogo, like the moment we met her, she's had trauma in her life. It's just, it was so wrong to turn her in. No, it wasn't. It was part of her story.
It's part of the story. It makes sense. It's a good story. Is she a hero? No.
She was brutalized and had trauma her entire life and always had amazing advisors around her. At the end, there were normal, anytime any conflict came up, her instant plan was like, go kill them.
Yeah.
Let's go destroy them. That's the plan. And whether it was whoever was with her advising her, they'd be like, let's not do that.
Pump the brakes.
Let's do this instead. And the fact that she saw her best friend get her head sliced off at the end, like seeing Missandei die like that, she had nothing left to stop her. There was no one left for her to like bounce ideas off of. That's the sad part of about her. Like her story is tragic.
And again, I agree that the entire season was totally rushed. Some of those episodes could have been 3 episodes, not just 1 episode. I absolutely think it was completely rushed, but it was still part of the story, and I respect the story.
Anyone who can't see that Dany was that kind of character just didn't want to see the signs, because they were there in season 1.
Yeah.
They were like, they sprinkled those warnings throughout the entire show. And it's not like just suddenly she showed up like, oh, I'm going to burn everyone now. Like, that was her plan all along.
She was going to burn her enemies. She was going to burn anybody who said anything negatively about her or her bloodline. She was ready to do that. She was ready to fucking kill them all.
I mean, she threatened a lot of people. I think her story, I think it was a tragic story. Yes. Which is some of my favorite stuff.
Like, she constantly being passed around, trying to be held down by a man. Like, I get that. I get all of that. Like, that would fucking drive me crazy too, but.
Even with, like, situations where she's talking about, like, let me get your fleet so I could go do this and I will give you double what you, like, double in return, and she's being questioned, like, who knows you're coming? Like, that's not your throne. Like, you were a child when you left King's Landing. Like, who's going to be there to support? Like she was questioned her whole life. She was always put. I love Daenerys as a character because of how complicated she was and how tragic her story ended up being.
Right. She was not. She was not just.
The thing. Yeah. I feel like the biggest rushed moment in the final season was the conversation between Tyrion and Jon, and then Jon going and taking Daenerys out. I don't think that happens in a matter of 3 minutes. I feel like that's something that plays out through an entire season under normal circumstances. Like, Jon having that conversation and then going straight to Daenerys, I don't think that's normally how it would play out. I think the end game still plays out. I just think it plays out, like, there's a much slower burn to that moment.
And I respect your opinion. Thank you so much, Jon Snow Rules. I respect all of your guys' opinions because this is why we do reactions. Like, think about all the different perspectives that everybody has just based on how they were brought up or things that they have read. This is what makes these conversations so amazing.
Yeah.
Like, we can talk about so much stuff, but based on how you grew up or what the things that you've read, like, changes your opinion about everything. Just like when we talk about being parents, that changes our perspective about everything.
Oh my God.
How someone is able to look at a 12-year-old and be like, oh, that was just the time. That's how they did things. Where to me, that is fucking gross.
Like
I can't.
There's so many things that I go back and think of, like, what would a 22-year-old version of myself think of that?
I would have laughed at way more stuff.
It would have been so different. Like, the moment, especially for me as a dad having our first daughter, my whole, like, demeanor changed, my attitude changed. Like,
I don't care about having sons.
So much of my personality shifted the moment I had a daughter, because in reality that's when the like, your responsibilities shift, what is important to you changes. Like, so much shifts in that world. And
well, for certain people, there are some folks that don't care about their kids.
I'm talking about me.
Yeah.
Why do we love Khal Drogo? Because I think he developed into a more loving
Dany changed him.
Yeah, I think he shifted.
Made him see that, like, it's more. I mean, she ended up falling in love. Like, but isn't that what they say? Like, you fall in love with your captor. Or, like, it was on Schitt's Creek. You're not the first person to fall in love with their captor. You know?
I think he had a major character shift. And you saw what, like, initially Daenerys had a certain mindset of him. And then as they spent time together and she started experiencing things, it shifted, it changed.
She became Khaleesi. Right.
And just like anything, characters are written a certain way, and I think they just shifted the mindset. And, like, the moment I think of is when she's eating the fucking heart, and you just see how proud he is of her. Like, it's this proud moment, like, yes, this is it. She's doing something absolutely disgusting, but it's like, yes, this is the moment. Like, yeah, absolutely. Like, I think they truly developed love for each other.
Yes. J. King, thank you for the $4.99. I think all the characters in Game of Thrones are capable of doing very heroic things and very terrible things, and that's what makes them interesting. Yeah. Absolutely. Talk about a very, like, uninteresting, gray character as if they only did all bad shit. That would just be fucked. If they only did all good shit,
that's
that
a boring
would just be fucked.
antagonist.
Jay Osola? Hopefully I'm saying that right. Thank you for the 5 gifted memberships.
If you guys didn't know, there are gifted memberships here on YouTube now, which is massively helpful to the channel.
Yes. Oh, yeah, when she was pregnant.
Yeah, I mean, again, like, the idea of becoming a parent changes a lot in here. Mm-hmm. It really does.
Oh,
not for everyone,
Ramsay.
but some people.
Ramsay kept it interesting, I gotta tell you.
I mean, Ramsay was definitely that all the way protagonist, like, all in. Like, he
definitely, like,
just like Joffrey. Joffrey was an all the way.
Though.
Joffrey was an all the way, all in villain.
Yeah.
Like, even someone like Cersei, who I think is probably one of the best antagonists ever created. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I think even she had glimpses of gray area because of her love for her family. Like, there were things that she did, kind of like Walter White level, to where it's like, yeah, what you're doing is really shitty, but your intentions are positive for your family.
Paul Sura, thank you for the 5 gifted. Sir, you are too much.
Thank you for the 5. And it's very unfortunate that, like, even during, I was watching Star Wars Theory's video and stream the other day. Like, it's sad that this conversation even has to come up, that we have to, like, preface all conversations with, like, this is our opinion, we're entitled to it, you're entitled to your opinion, be nice. Like, it's sad that it's gotten to that point where people are just so aggressive and angry that, and I think I mentioned this to someone in Discord, where they're upset with the kind of public shaming and put down of She-Hulk. It's like, who cares? You love the show? Love the show. If you love a certain thing, love it. Don't let any nonsense on the internet change your love for something.
Yeah.
And the great thing is, if you see something you don't like, you could hide it. You could you could have YouTube unrecommend stuff, like, don't recommend this channel to me anymore.
Block the channel even.
Yeah, so don't ever let someone's opinion ruin your love for something.
Word.
Like, I don't like Solo. I think it's a fun movie. I think it's the worst Star Wars movie. If you like Solo, awesome. My opinion shouldn't have an impact on your opinion. If you like it, if I present reasons why I don't like something and it shifts your mind a little bit, then that's one thing. If you present things that maybe change my mind, then that's the point of discussion and good conversation. Don't just scream "fuck you" and get angry, you know?
No, I think that's a lot of folks nowadays. It's like, you either believe what I believe or that is it. I mean, you know, you do you, boo.
Yeah, like,
you do you. I don't care.
The last season of Game of Thrones is a great example to where people took it personally. And it's like, I have my issues with the last season, but I just watched it recently and I'm like, this is still so much better than most content that's created. Obviously, it's not like Game of Thrones like level, like it's not up to that level of quality, but it's still so much better than so much out there. And it doesn't bother me as much as it did initially. And do I like that Bran became king and that he hit us with the, why do you think I'm here? Like, no, I don't like that. But I think that story makes sense.
Paul 5486, hush your face.
I think it actually works for the story because of his ability and his foresight. I also hate the question, like, who has a better, like, there's a lot of people who got a better story than Bran, but again, it is what it is. That there's just certain thing, like, I wanted Jon Snow to be the king. That's what under those circumstances, I wanted him to be king. I wanted him to take on his true name and become the king of, obviously there was no more Iron Throne at that point.
Yeah.
But people are like, oh, he belongs in the, like, yeah, he probably does belong in the North. He probably does belong where he ended up going. But so much through his life, he was put in positions to rule because he was the best person to rule, whether he wanted to rule or not. I think those are the ones who make the best leaders. Being put in a position because we want you there.
Yes.
Not because you want it. So,
Yana, Miranda wasn't saying that Damon is close to Ramsay. It just sounds like Ramsay.
yeah,
That's
I don't
what
think
Steven...
I don't think who said that?
Well, Miranda was like,
Oh.
now that she can't, like, unsee it or unhear it.
Yeah, I don't think he has.
No, because we were talking earlier that Damon sounds like Ramsay, and when you hear it, you can't unhear it.
Right, it's not like a personality trait. It's literally the tone of his voice.
Yeah.
And the way he speaks and his cadence.
Or did you say that, Yana? You said that. Yeah, you said that. Sorry, you said that. Like, you can't unhear it.
I just thought it was weird that Bran disappeared like an entire season.
Yeah, that was weird.
Like, he literally disappeared.
Oh, God. Mods, you have your work cut out for you today.
They're working hard today.
Yeah. Yes, and you're like, yes, absolutely, Yana.
Yeah, the moment he raised his voice,
I know, I'm sorry,
I was like,
Leilana.
oh shit. I was like, oh shit, that's
Thank
Lips.
you, teeturtle.com, not sponsored. Teeturtle, T-E-E, turtle.
I mean, I guess you haven't made it on the internet
Unless you get like a bot.
bots.
Yeah. Thanks, Jon Snow Rules. I'm happy that you...
I think they're bots. They're coming in way too fast to be a person.
Yeah.
Someone's spam botting us.
Yeah.
I mean, we can move it to subscriber only.
Yes, Amber. Oh my God, the freaking shirts from that website, and when they have them on sale, like that's all he wears. Well, besides Target.
Target and T-Turtle.
Yep.
We do need, we need to get a He's a Baratheon piece of art made for sure.
I'm just saying, the seed is strong. There's Baratheon in that fucking line, guys. There is. I'm not wrong. He has Baratheon in there.
Can I do that from here?
No. All right, Steven changed it to only subscribers to try to get rid of the bots.
They're really annoying, so hit that sub button while you're here. Subs are free on YouTube.
Yeah, we're not talking about the membership button. We're talking about the subscriber button.
I mean, if you want to hit that membership button.
I mean, that would also be amazing, but I'm just saying.
It's not a weirdo, it's just a bot.
Yeah.
Well, someone's running the bot, but... Oh, I hid the word woke from the channel. People use that word, they don't even know what the fuck it means.
They don't know what that means.
It's like, okay, you found a word on the internet and you're using it everywhere. It's like people calling this show woke. It's like, did you not watch the original show?
Like, this has never happened in history. Are you serious?
Daenerys, Cersei, two of the best characters and most powerful characters in Game of Thrones were women. Oh my god! Holy shit! Oh no!
So aggressive.
Powerful women. I'm so scared of a powerful female. Oh my god! Get over yourself.
Yes.
Arya too. Like, come on. There's so many.
Where was the woke back then?
Right?
Yeah, we did, Colin. We had the whole podcast already. I didn't.
I got to like the middle of book 2, and I had to stop.
It's hard to listen or read those books because they're so much more descriptive.
Dude, my brain, because I would listen, I wouldn't read, obviously, because I don't really read.
We don't read. We don't do that.
I would listen on my way to work and then home from work. And when I got to work after an hour of Game of Thrones book,
right?
I'm like, I'm ready to go home. Like, this was a lot of information to take in. And then on my way home, I would listen more. I'd be like, I'm so dead. I'm tired. Like, I'm just so mentally... The book is literally... Wow, they're a subscriber to the channel, huh? They even get through the subscriber only? Damn, dude. Like, the books are like true information overload. Like, I don't know how people... Like, the people who could read all that, you guys are amazing.
Aw, G-Man! Thank you for the tier 1! You were on our Twitch, weren't you, before? Free subs. I don't want those. I don't want those.
Yeah.
I want real people. I don't want bots, and I don't want anything paid for.
One of my votes, if I had like a genie, one of my votes...
Oh, so it's somebody actually creating the bot because now they're talking about being woke. Dude, do you need a hug?
Seriously.
Do you want to talk? Is there something you need to talk about?
What
Can I suggest some betterhelp.com? I'm just saying.
What was I just talking
I love
about?
you. Regardless of your bullshit that you're pulling, I think you need attention and you need a hug.
What was I just talking about?
Huh?
Oh, the books. Like, if I had a wish, one of my wishes would be that, like, I wish I could read books the way people read. I just don't have that ability. Like, I can't sit and read a book. Like, my brain just starts wandering like crazy. But it's one of those things where listening to the Game of Thrones books, it made my head hurt.
Yeah, it's a lot.
It was a lot. And it's just because books and novels and graphic novels and stuff could be so more detailed, like, it's almost like description overload. It's so insane.
Yeah, absolutely, Justin. Absolutely.
Audio book is reading. I mean, I'm listening.
Yeah.
So.
Aw, thanks, Miranda.
So we'll probably stop.
Go pick up that kid.
We'll wrap up at like 1. So like 7 more minutes. Is that too long?
Like 2 more minutes.
Okay, I'll take it to 1.
Okay.
I like hitting on a clean.
The books are long. That's what she said.
Release your hate, Hassan. Release your hate. Doesn't serve anyone.
Yes, let it go. Let it go.
Why is it so easy to create new YouTube accounts?
Right? Don't you need like a new email?
Oh, hi, Nikki94.
Yeah, she was in here. I sent her a message. I was like, I see you, girl.
I wasn't really paying attention to the chat that much.
How dare you. Nikki, you hear that shit?
I don't want to get distracted.
Nikki's unite for Nikki.
Or
for Nikki.
If some idiot dropped a spoiler somewhere. But
I know.
Wow,
Nikki.
we have 140 viewers and 140 likes.
Nice.
Look at that. It's amazing.
Yeah, we're gonna watch Rings of Power, just not like when it instantly comes out.
Yeah, we gotta let some stuff breathe. It was originally gonna be on the schedule, but adding the Sandman was probably a bad idea, just schedule wise. I love the show so far, and with Cobra Kai dropping like 2 months early, because normally they drop in December and they're dropping in September, kind of threw a wrench in the schedule a little bit, but. We'll get to it at some point because I really want to watch it. I want to see what it's all about. And then I saw Andor. I'm probably going to do live watch-alongs for Andor. It's not going to be like a normal reaction series on the channel. Again, there's just no room right now. Like September is so insane right now. Just looking. This is the fun part about live streams. You get to see the schedule.
And I am getting so many freaking softball text messages.
Group text, like Sandman, Game of Thrones, The Last Kingdom, Cobra Kai, all happening with the addition of like Andor and Lord of the Rings in September also. Like the Midnight Club show is dropping in October, which I don't know if we're gonna have time to get to that. That's the new Mike Flanagan show. We're gonna be pretty jammed up. So, I did mention over on Patreon, earlier I mentioned, on Patreon I actually set a goal. We posted our very first goal on the Patreon channel where full reactions are on Patreon. I posted our first goal. It's our full-time content creator goal to where if we hit and maintain that number, we could probably put ourselves in a position to actually be full-time creators. Obviously, building subscribers here and getting members here and the super chats here and the gifted memberships here are an insane amount of help. But I feel like if we're going to go full-time, I feel like Patreon is going to be the key. They're going to get patron-only streams, which I'm going to do the first one on Friday, I think. Where it's going to be like a town hall style format. Yes. Uh-huh. So we're going to start doing that, and I don't know, being full time is the goal because, like, honestly, like stuff that's going on at work, pure misery right now. Things are just so bad.
Ting, on Twitch, if you banned somebody, it would ban their IP. On YouTube, they don't do that.
But VPNs allow you to kind of circumvent all that shit.
Yes, and we are fully aware of all the VPN issues.
If you have movie suggestions, you got to drop them in the Discord. We don't take notes and write stuff down here. So
yeah, I have no pen, no paper. I'm not writing it down.
If stuff stays true to our schedule this week, we're watching season 2, episode 1 of The Last Kingdom tomorrow night. Mm-hmm. If things stick, we'll see if things like. We'll never, like, even if I didn't have a full-time job, like, the kids' schedules make things complicated.
Oh my god. There are not enough hours in the day after school.
So, but yeah, the plan is to, Sandman tonight for tomorrow, and then Last Kingdom Season 2 premiere tomorrow night. Yeah. That's the plan. And that'll get up on Patreon right away. So. Anything else, y'all? Oh, it's an anime fan's revenge.
Change that thing to where it says subscribe any amount of time to like 5 or whatever minutes.
Oh, people are actually upset that I joke about anime. That's funny. People can't take jokes anymore.
No.
It's unfortunate.
Thank you, Jon Snow Rules, and also good luck at university. Pay very close attention, study hard.
Who cares about Rotten Tomato scores?
Kids are growing up fast. You gotta hang out with them now, because at some point they're not gonna want to hang out with you anymore, and so you gotta get that time in now.
Oh no, we're not like we don't watch anime. We're not gonna watch anime.
I'm just not interested.
It's just not our thing.
Yeah.
But we acknowledge that people love it.
Yeah, absolutely, and there's like a huge fan base for it.
The anime thing is a joke. Like, it's meant to be funny. It's not meant to actually upset people.
Yeah.
It's just.
But what show are you guys most looking forward to, or movie?
I'm
looking forward to Black Panther.
UFC fighter? No, I'm too old for that shit.
The show I'm looking forward to. I don't know.
Burrows, do you have an issue? Like, is something up?
They'll be embarrassed by you just existing very soon? What does that mean? Do you need a hug too? Do you need to chat? No, She-Hulk. I don't want to watch
We're watching it off. We're watching it off camera.
I'm not watching that. I'm not interested. Oh, no, the kids, they get to a point they're embarrassed. Absolutely.
Oh.
Yes, no, you're absolutely right. See, but that's the thing. We'll be like talking about something, and then we'll ask a question and then like forget what we asked and then think that like, why are you leaving that comment? That doesn't make any sense. Yes, totally. Absolutely. Like,
I lose context in
sheer
chat.
existence will be like, the fuck?
I lose context on chat comments.
Quickly.
Literally every minute.
Literally, I'll ask one question, then it's gone. It's already gone. I don't even remember what I asked you. Daniel, my opinion is that Damon is a very complex character. He's both good and bad parts, but his intention... Agreed.
100%.
We agree. Absolutely. Thank you also for the 25. I'm not sure what currency that is, but thank you. Regardless.
Thank you for the super chat.
World Master.
Miss Marvel. I got one episode into Miss Marvel and haven't watched past that. Did you watch World Master IBJ? No. I watched I'm not like I don't really have a lot of time. I don't watch a lot of the big Jiu-Jitsu tournament stuff. This past one, if you wanted to go handle what you gotta handle.
I'm just gonna go live my life and
Okay.
wash my face.
The last Jiu-Jitsu match I watched was Gordon Ryan. I actually posted a video of my Jiu-Jitsu on...
I can't get out of here. Thank you.
On the Discord. No, she won't be late.
No,
she doesn't. She just has other stuff that she has to handle before she goes and picks up.
I like to see my thing. I was telling Steven before the stream started. This is fun for me, and I can't have the fun until I clean up things throughout the house. So like I have to work in the house and do shit in the house, do my chores in the house before I can come in here and have fun. So like before I can go like take care of other shit, I gotta make sure that shit in the house is taken care of. You know what I'm saying? You picking up what I'm putting down?
I speak English and I can hear you, so yeah.
Thanks for checking in. You feel me? Yeah. But thanks, guys. Iron! Your mom is the same way. Your mom live streams?
Oh, our new light should be showing up today too. So you're gonna hang out with me for a couple more minutes because I like just rolling through the chat. I don't have to like work for a minute too. So. React to the documentary Choke. BJJ documentary. I don't like reacting to documentaries is really hard because they're kind of non-stop. We watched the Manti Te'o documentary the other day. Holy shit. That story was bonkers, dude. It's of the Gracies. I know all about the Gracies. Yeah, we'll be watching Lord of the Rings. We just won't be live. We're gonna be a little behind because our schedule is insane this month and next month. So We'll see. The original plan was to be live, but it's not possible. We watched like 6 episodes of Black Mirror. And we stopped. We posted a reaction to Us today. That's a horror reaction. Schedule for The Last Kingdom. Join our Discord. All the schedules get posted there. Hocus Pocus 2? Probably not. Last of Us show? I don't know. We'll see. Did you understand that intro to House of Dragons? Yeah, sure. Last Kingdom is so good. That first season was a banger. It was so good that it knocked our power out.
Oh my god. No. That was a scheduled outage.
It was a scheduled power outage. Try reacting to Indian content once.
I think
Foreign,
I said it.
it's
said
someone.
it already.
It's someone else.
Oh, okay.
Foreign content's tough for us because the language situation with sub versus dub, and I can't watch subtitled content, so we're not gonna go there, unfortunately. Oh, I'm watching She-Hulk. I just don't think it's a very good show.
Wait. Softball. They want...
You think it? I don't think it is. If you think it is, that's awesome. That's what opinions are for. The last batch of Marvel content has not been what I like my comic book content to be. See, that's part of the problem right there. Don't yell at me that it is good. If you like it, awesome. I'm entitled to not like it. And I have reasons why I don't like it. You did? Yeah, Paul, you were right. I think I have that right here. I have my mini Korean dictionary. Could you imagine doing a reaction and if I have to be like, wait, what was that word? Hold on, let me find, oh, okay, pause. Okay, yeah. I've got that. Thanks, Steve. Glad you got something to listen to while you snack. Are you going to share your snacks? What are you snacking on? I mean, the one thing you'll always get, brutal honesty from me and Nikki, and I'll probably be able to express my reasons for liking or not liking stuff more, but there'll always be a reason. It'll never just be a blind, like, I don't like that or whatever. No idea what the next movie is going to be. I got to get the vote prepared probably today and get it posted for the members to vote on. Nikki's a very fast typer.
Well, especially when I'm pissed. I'm pissed.
Oh, you're pissed?
I'm pissed.
What happened?
Somebody intentionally posted a spoiler and then tagged our team to say, "Look what I did."
Did they get handled or did the spoiler
Yes.
get seen?
No, it's taken down, but like now no one wants to go in that channel. Fuckers, I'm gonna fuck with you.
Do you still play sports games on the side? I haven't. I thought about getting Madden. Probably the Game of Thrones channel, which is turning out to be a really bad idea on Discord. people just can't help themselves. Was it the Exa person? Mm-hmm. Why are they not banned yet?
Because we have to do warnings.
No, if they're posting blatant spoilers and trying to tag us in them, that's an immediate ban. Kick them out of the server now.
Okay. Leilani, you heard it first!
That's why we can't have nice things. Yeah, people are assholes. Man, like, I've been seeing a lot of TikToks about Madden and how glitchy and weird it is. I don't know, I don't really have a lot of, like, if I'm really gonna, like, try to go full-time, I don't really have time to sit and play the sports games right now. Unless I'm streaming. The only, like, luckily we had like a mod team of like 10 when we were watching the original Game of Thrones. Only the Ned thing in season 1 got through to us, and Nikki clicked on a comment on accident.
That was my fault. And they're banned. Bye, fucker.
Get them out of here. That was the person that posted something that disappeared that Aaron couldn't find.
Yeah.
It was the same person. Get him out of here. If there's a blatant spoiler post in our Discord, there is no warning. It's immediate post. Immediate ban. Right away. Well, we were in a live stream and a moderator removed it, but Nikki, like, as the channel owner, you could click on show me message, and she clicked on it. The votes happen on this channel, the live channel. It's for members only, though. It's one of the perks of joining the membership. It gets posted as a community tab post for members only. So, as we grow our memberships here, we'll hopefully get more votes.
Like, I don't want anybody scaring anybody out of my server. Like,
I know.
I love you guys, and I want you to feel comfortable, and I want you to feel welcome and seen, and, you know, the ability to give your opinion and not be jumped on. And I want to be able to have friendships and, you know, all these things. And you can't do that if you're scared to go into a chat room because somebody's trying to ruin it for anybody else.
Yeah. You got spoiled for House of the Dragons in a random Twitch chat not even related to the show. Yeah, that's tough. Book readers are, like, I don't know why they feel the need to, like, go through and try to, like, spoil what happened in the books for people. I guess that'll be the refreshing thing with the Jon Snow show. It's like there won't be any source material, and you won't be able to, like, spoil shit. Do you watch the J2O video? Not really. I don't have time to watch stuff like that. Appreciate Johnny for including us. But no, I don't have the time to... I don't get the time to really watch any reactions, to be honest. They want to feel superior. They're just assholes if they're spoiling. You're just a miserable person. if you get enjoyment out of spoiling stuff for people, you're a bad person. Straight up. Well, if it's in Game of Thrones, it's not really a spoiler.
Like, if you're going into House of the Dragon, it's because you've seen all of Game of Thrones and you want to talk about
The show.
each
Right.
episode of the show as it comes out, not things that you've read in the books. The channel is not called Fire and Blood. The channel is called House of the Dragon.
Do we know that Jon Snow and Ygritte are a real couple? Yes.
Oh my god, don't. Was that Paul Sura? Stop
No.
it. You stop it right now.
That was like, I think we got like 1,000 of those comments the first time Ygritte showed up in the show. You're watching House of the Dragons with no Game of Thrones knowledge. I mean, I technically have no Game of Thrones knowledge either because I don't know shit. I keep getting stuff wrong. You're Matthew R in Discord. Nice.
Oh, Matthew, love you. Thank you for your comment. You're so sweet. Thank you for pointing out when people are like doing shit dirty. I appreciate that so much. You don't know.
Yes, we know there's a spoiler in season 3.
Jono, stop it.
Another dumbass tried to bring that to light and try to ruin stuff for us.
Ting. They can hear my angry typing as they're watching the Discord.
There's very easy ways to avoid spoilers.
Block words.
First, you have an amazing mod team, which we do.
Yes.
Second, you just don't go certain places. Like, I don't go, and that's part of the reason why I don't watch reaction videos as much as a reactor as I probably should. I don't go on the Nikki and Steven React channel hardly ever because there are people watching things that are probably ahead of us, and a thumbnail could give shit away or a title could give shit away. So I just don't go on those channels. I stay on my personal YouTube page, which I am very selective of what I'm subscribed to. And then social media, Nikki doesn't go on social media really. And I
don't go on Twitter ever. So.
And luckily on social media, it's easy to block words. You don't have to worry about stuff. So. Spoilers is all part of the gig. We did play The Quarry. We actually didn't really like it very much. Eight months since Hunger Game reactions? Yeah. Wow. I agree. I know nothing. Yeah. There's just go through and block words. It works like a charm. So, alright. That's going to wrap up this stream. Catch you guys later. Probably next stream will be a movie night on Saturday. Hopefully we can get a game stream in soon one day. Nikki played Fortnite with the kids and got a couple W's. So maybe we could find a way to do a Fortnite community game night or something. But thanks for hanging out for the pod. We'll catch you guys later for the next one. Thank you everyone who contributed with the gifted memberships and joining the channel and super chats and all that stuff. It's all greatly appreciated. We love you all very much. And see you guys later. Bye.